Hey guys, this is PittsburghActive and my name is Dom. Today we're going to be reviewing a Specialized Stumpjumper ST. Thank you to ProBikes for letting me demo this thing. Let's get at it. This is actually my first time in a Specialized in a very, very long time. This happens to be the Specialized short travel 29er version. This is the comp bike. That means this bike has 120 millimeters of travel and back and 130 up front. The ST really replaces Specialized's camber line, which is basically what was their 29er short travel trail bike. This bike comes in 27.5, but I think I've really been liking 29ers recently. Pretty good in the tight stuff. Playful for sure. There's a bunch of parts on this bike that I don't usually get to ride. First thing is, so far, the X-Fusion Manic dropper post, which I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't really, hello, how are you doing? I don't really get to ride the seat post often, but so far it has performed really well. So that's something to note. Second, the comp version of this bike, maybe other ones too, comes with a Fox 34 rhythm up front, which I have ridden before on my review of the Trek Fuel trail bike, but I don't really ride it too often. So it'll be good to get reacquainted to the performance of this fork. And lastly, I am riding on non-Maxxis tires. So they're 2.3 Purgatory and Butcher tires, I believe. So hopefully they'll do well. I usually like to warm up here in the skills park because I can get all my error settings and everything here straight. So, okay, let's do some drops. Okay, this is flat. Okay, there's a little bit of a bottom out right there, but that's probably be as big of a hit that we're going to want to do with this bike. All right, thing rips, a little jumps, thing jumps, rocky. Man, does well with the chunder. Okay, the tires are pretty good actually. Just when it's a little bit wet, it's perfect. So, first drop. Good. Flatter drop. Okay, so I bottomed out in that one. You probably saw the bike flinch for sure. So that was good. Controlled. Tires gave up a little bit, but that's okay. It was under control for sure. Okay. Super tight. Okay. We're gonna go with the chunder. Okay. So it does okay, but definitely a short travel bike. Let's go with the whale tail. Take it slow because I hate this thing. tabletop action. So I would be very curious to do the second part of this review actually, which is the full stump jumper, as in not the short travel. On the climbs like this, loose gravel, I mean, I'm putting power in there and no traction loss at all. It's definitely playful. You could tell it is if you're used to a 150, 140 bike, you'll be able to feel a little bit that this bike is a little bit less than that. So I'm really curious to actually compare this with a stump jumper, which is in the queue. If you guys are interested, subscribe to Pittsburgh Active. Okay, so back to this bike. This bike for $4,200 is a lot of bike. A lot of bike. I think they did a good job on the front end of this bike. This thing does tight single track pretty well. Man, just gobbles everything up. Very nice. Very nice. So it's a lively bike for sure. Oh, all right, guys. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut this short. That rear end, I think I caught a pinch flat, so all right, guys, so this is the part 2 of the Stumpjumper ST bike review. So today we're going to be trying to ride a different trail system, just because obviously I don't want you guys to really see or have to see the same trail system that you guys saw in part 1. So today we're going to be riding the Hollow Oak Reserve here in beautiful Pittsburgh. All right, so this bike feels like it's climbing really well. Yeah, it climbs really well. The only niggle I have a little bit is I don't know, it's because maybe it's a Specialized tire in the back, or I guess what I'm saying is I don't know if I'm getting a fair shake on the performance of these Specialized tires, just because it's wet, and Hollow Oak is pretty rooty, especially in the climbs. This bike is it's got a lightness to it, not just in the climbs, but on how you handle it in tight turns. I'm sure there's something with the geometry and overall design of this bike. One thing I would like to note on this bike, I bottomed out I think a couple of times. I'm 155 pounds, and by the time I settled on 25% sag, This thing is at 206. The rear shock on this and how it's tuned for this bike. It's important to note that that general rule of starting at your body weight in terms of PSI, you're gonna need more for this bike. So here's some parting thoughts on this bike in one word: value. At $4,200, this comp build gives you the foundations to making this bike a fantastic bike. At $4,200, you get everything that you see in the video and a full carbon frame, and that's a lot. You can build on that towards the future and everything else. Now, let's talk about some standout parts and some parts that I would improve upon that comes with a comp build. For sure, the X-Fusion Velvet dropper seat post, that thing competes with the best of them, to the Fox Transfer and the RockShox Reverb. I'm really happy I got to test out that part because it performed beautifully. The Specialized tires, that was okay, but I do feel like you could get better grip from a Maxxis tire. Of course, that's just my opinion. You guys know I'm a Maxxis fan, so that's that. And lastly, the fork, the Fox Rhythm fork. Though it will do 95% of the duties that you're going to be doing on this bike, there is a level of performance that I did detect that was deficient compared to the best that's out there, like the Pike, and also the Fox 34 that's available today. As far as the mannerisms of the bike, it's definitely light and nimble, which is everything that you would want from a short travel 29er. So it did all those duties really well. Like I said in the videos, last thought, this is something that you're going to have to consider. It does run at very high pressures. I'm at 155. I settled in at about 206 and even a little bit more when I was riding, and I was really putting it through some drops and some pretty rough stuff at 25% sag. So that being said, watch out for the long travel Stumpjumper review. Subscribe, like, share, and follow me on Instagram at PittsburghActive. I'll see you guys later.